Hi guys, EBPMAN here with Tablets for Me, and today we're going to take a look at the newest version of the Fitbit. This is the Fitbit Alta, and this was released today all across North America. Now, taking a look at the packaging, at least for the Alta, a couple things to highlight about this device. This is not the least expensive version of the Fitbit. It's around $129 plus tax, but I would say it's probably one of the best looking Fitbits that I've seen in quite a long time. There was a recent version or new version that came out last week, which is the Fitbit Blaze, which is more like an Apple Watch or a Samsung Gear S2, so it's has more watch features, but also does fitness. But this is a pure fitness band, and it does have a watch, as you'll be able to see in a couple seconds, but it doesn't have a heart rate monitor. It does cover a lot of different features, as you can see here. It does have all-day activity capabilities, sleep quality monitoring, smartphone notifications, and it has interchangeable bands. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an unboxing, take a look at this device, we'll do a setup, and see what we think about the product. Now, before going into the unboxing, I just wanted to highlight a couple more features for those of you who are either new to Fitbit or into fitness trackers. This band specifically is going to not only track your steps, your calories burned based on your activity, but it's also going to motivate you if it sees that you're not moving enough. It's going to track activities, exercises like running, cardio, and several things like that, but remember, it does not have a heart rate monitor. It will track your sleeping if you're into that, but one of the things that I find incredibly useful, and that is the fact that it has a vibrating alarm, a silent alarm. I use this every day to wake myself up when I have to go into the office. And I do have a couple of friends that I recommended Fitbit devices to who have either hearing impaired children or they're hearing impaired themselves, and they use the Fitbit as well as a way to wake themselves up and not having to use all these other devices that are available to them. So they really like using it for that as well. You do get some notifications, and it will sync wirelessly through a variety of devices. If you are in the market for picking up one of these, and Fitbit used to have a band that you could print out to see if something fit or not, and what you would do is you'd print it out and you would wrap it around your hand. Now they've kind of incorporated it into the box, and I think that's a pretty smart thing to do because as you're at the store, you may not know if you're a small or if you're a large. So what you could do is literally take the box like this and you put your wrist on it. Right, so you try to line it. And I know I have hairy wrists, but here you can see, and you'll notice that I'm not quite a small. I'm falling into the large category for my wrist. So all you do is do this, and if you're right here, then you know that you're a small. But I'm going over it, so that would be a large for me. So you can actually see if this is the right size for you, and not have to worry about a return or exchange. Now, opening up the box is pretty simple, and the packaging for the Fitbit has changed with their last release. So I've seen a lot of high-end headphones use this type of packaging, and what you have here is your Fitbit Alta. It looks a little like, I would say, some of the other organizers that you see from Microsoft, some of the bands that are out there. Garmin has something that looks like this, Jawbone also as well, but we'll look at this in a couple seconds, but I'll tell you, just initially taking it out, my first impression is a very good looking band. You have instruction guides here, so this is everything that you need to know about setting it up. Here you have, I'm sure, the sync dongles and probably cable for charging. So we'll go ahead and check that out. Open this up, and here you have this little dongle that you can connect it to a PC, and then this, what you would do is use it for charging. And it looks like it's a little bit different. The cradle is not quite the same as one of my other Fitbits. So, like for example, we've reviewed and we've even given away one of these on the Fitbit on our channel. This is my Fitbit HR, and you'll notice how you have the contact on the bottom. I don't know if this one will work. They kind of look the same, but maybe they're not. We'll check that out a little bit later. But this is your charging cable, and pretty much that's it. There's not much left in the box outside of the charging cable, the little dongle that you would connect to your PC right there to sync things, and then you have the user guide. Now the Fitbit Alta is made out of two materials, stainless steel material here, and then a rubberized material. One of the things that used to be, I would say, one of the fatal flaws of the original Fitbit was the band. And many people, including myself, lost multiple Fitbits because it would just come off. This one, as you can see, seems to be pretty resistant to that. So it would catch here if you were going on a train, plane, or automobile. I do frequent travel. I remember I would just lose them because they would just come off, and you really wouldn't feel them. Even taking off a sweater or your shirt, pulling it over, sometimes it come off. That's not the case. Now the other thing is that this device does come with multiple bands, and you'll notice here on the very bottom, here's your charging port. But you'll notice here that you have these clips. So we're going to push. Let's see how this clip works. I think it's we push down. Yep. And now it removes. So you're going to be able to get some accessories, some bands in different colors. And now this is the Fitbit itself right here. But you can switch bands, change the colors of your bands. There's leather bands. There are blue bands, purple bands to fit your style and what you like when wearing any kind of fashion accessory. Now there are a couple ways to set up your Fitbit. I'm going to try just using my phone because, face it, a lot of people nowadays don't have laptops or PCs, they have tablets. And so let's see how the setup process would be if you use just a phone to set up your Fitbit device. So what you're going to first do is go to your Apple or Android marketplace and then download the Fitbit app. Once you've done that, you're going to register yourself, and then we'll go through the setup process. Now, as you can see here, based on my account, I have a couple devices. I have a couple Fitbits for testing purposes that I've had on my device or on my phone. What I'm going to do, and it's right now trying to synchronize them, I'm going to set up, and what you would do is just choose the plus sign right here to add a new Fitbit device. So I'm going to wait for these items to kind of time out or synchronize, and then we'll do the plus and then add the next Fitbit. Now, since I already have multiple devices, it's asking me, do I want to replace anything, or do I want to add a new device? So you could choose add a new device, or you can replace a device. I'm going to go ahead and choose add a new device, and now it's going to try to ask me, which Fitbit am I going to be setting up, and I'm going to choose the Alta. And now it says set up your Fitbit Alta here on the bottom, so we're going to choose that. And it's going through its process. Put this here on the side and see what else is our next step. Now the next step is to agree to the terms and condition. Here are all of the accessories that come with it. So it's just giving you an introduction to the device. I'm going to hit next. It's giving us some instructions on what we need to do. It says we need to connect the charger in order to power up the tracker. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, once your Fitbit powers up, you're going to get a code that pops up on the screen, and you input it. And then what you can do is you can actually name your device. Let me see if I can just skip that. I don't want to give it a name right now. And now what you have is the ability to do an update. It looks like there's a software update. So we're going to go ahead and hit next. And it's going to go through the update process. All right, so now that the update took place, you get this little message letting you know that it was done successfully, and it wasn't really that long. It just took a couple minutes to do the upgrade. I'm going to hit next, and now what it's going to go through is kind of show you what's the appropriate way to wear the band and how to snap it into place. So hit next one more time, and now as you can see right here, we have some more information about cleaning the band, about just overall maintenance of the band. So we'll go ahead and hit next one more time. And now from a usage perspective, how do you activate the band? So if I grab the band right here, and you notice the timeout automatically came up, we'll make sure that this is in focus for you guys. All I have to do to start it up is just tap it 2 times on the bottom. And it's going to, I guess you can probably swipe. Let's see. Yeah. So maybe it's just tap twice to start it up. All right, so now to wake up the actual Fitbit, all you do, and notice how it's recommending right here somewhere towards the bottom, is you double tap. So when you double tap, it's going to turn on. To switch screens, you're going to tap, 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 and tap just to go through each one of them. There's not a lot of things that you can do to interact with the Fitbit. As you can see, it's pretty much being able to cycle through things. Most of the controls, all the configuration takes place on the phone. Now, those of you that may be asking what type of activities can this Fitbit track, it highlights that it can track running, walking, cycling, riding a bike, sports, elliptical, and workouts. And you can also set reminders. These reminders are going to automatically tell you that you're falling behind on your goal, and it's going to just try to motivate you to work out. Which side of the wrist will you be wearing, or on what hand? I'm going to be wearing mine on my right, and hit next. And then what you can do is configure how do you want your screen to display content. And you'll notice, and we'll get a little bit closer right here, you have three areas that you can choose, or models: time, time and day, or time and seconds. I'm going to leave it with the center one, so I'm going to choose that one. And pretty much that's it. So we're going to go ahead and hit next one more time. It shows how we can switch the bands, which I already showed you how that comes off, and we're all set. So this really concludes our unboxing and quick setup of the Fitbit Alta. I'm going to use this band for the next couple days, compare it to my Fitbit HR as well as my Gear S, and we'll see how accurate they are. If you have any comments or questions about this product, please leave it on the YouTube channel below. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.